Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naturally IE, aka Aisha, and thanks for tuning back in. Today we're getting into a much overdue Roots and Democracy episode. So before we get into the politics, as always, I am working with a week-old wash and go. It wasn't fabulous. If you watched my heat damage video, you can see how I got to this state here. I am going to use a lot of HydroQuench products today in order to revamp my wash and go. So I am going to give you a little information about where we're going with this week's Roots and Democracy video, and then I'm going to get in the shower and I'm going to wash and condition, and I'll meet you guys back here after all that for a deep condition. So the reason that I kind of put it off for a while, a lot of Trump going on. There's a lot of just ridiculousness up in the news. So I took a little break from that little hiatus, but I'm back and I have more of a vision of where I want to go, and we're starting today with the global water crisis. If you live in the US, if you haven't heard of Flint, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but definitely bing that later. Flint is not alone. Flint is not the only community in the United States that has been affected by a contaminated water source. We also have Cali, we have Chicago, we have Boston, we have Philly. Yes, even though it's not really in mainstream media, there are issues in these large cities. And to top it all off, it is not just in the United States, it is a global issue, and we are not really fortunate, but we're lucky to say that at least we have water here. Okay, for example, the main issue that I will be focusing on today, but this is a global issue as I keep reiterating, is Cape Town. In April, I think it was April 16th, officials there were going to deem it day zero, which means that it was going to be the day that they were going to shut off the tap waters. That means that Cape Town was ready to run out of potable, clean drinking water. And it's a big deal because Cape Town is the first major city in the world that is at this point. So it is a big issue. So a term that you might hear me throw around, or if you speak about this topic with other people, you might hear water scarcity being thrown around, and that just basically means that, like if you hear that a region is in a water scarcity, it means that there is not enough clean drinking water to meet the demand of the population. And you'd be so I was surprised. I'm gonna link it down for you below, but water is used for literally everything, for electricity, for your food, for your water, for your clothes. You don't really think about it to the magnitude that I'm about to bring you to. For example, I found out that in order to make one gallon of coffee, 1,056 gallons of water for that 1 cup of coffee. For tea, it's a lot better. It's only 108 gallons of water for 1 gallon of brewed tea. If you want to talk about meats, beef is horrendous. Beef requires 1,847 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of beef. Chicken's a bit better at 518 gallons of water. If you want to see some more really cool statistics, check the description box down below and I will link it for you where I got my information. Okay, and we're back, guys. So I just rinsed out the deep conditioner and I'm just having my hair just dry a little bit before I get started with my styling products, but I want to just get back real quick to the politics. Well, not politics, but issue at hand, and where is this happening? So I know that I keep saying it's global, and I think I briefly mentioned some other US cities that are affected by water contamination, but we have to remember that this also affects Cape Town, US cities. Australia is having an issue, the Middle East, North Africa, Cali and Mumbai are the major places that I remember, but for your viewing pleasure, with this photo you can see that anywhere that is in a dark shade of red, orange, or a little bit of the yellow, those are the issues that are having the biggest problem with water contamination. And this is a photo from 2013. I will link all of this information for you down in the description box below for your research purposes. Okay, so I'm gonna take this out. I think I'm going to do the back, and then I'll come back to you guys when it's time to do the front sections. All right, see you then. All right, guys, so as you can see, the back is all done. I'm just gonna move to the front and keep pushing. Okay, so how did all of this happen? 3 things. First, climate change. Second, a growing urban population. And third, poor judgment on behalf of the government. Now, that's not to say that that is the issue that happened. That's not what caused it across a global span, but specifically in Cape Town, that is what happened. And I'm gonna not assume, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that yes, something to a similar effect is the cause for all of the water crises across the globe. Okay, so climate change. So obviously that one's pretty straightforward. Less rainfall, more drought causes there to be less water in local communities, and then people can, you know, do the things that they need to do. The growing urban population, that's a biggie, and that's probably one that could potentially affect us here in the States, and that is because the more people, I mean, that makes sense. The more people in a dense area, the less resources are going to be available to all of those people. By the way, guys, what? Y'all see all that shine? I'm just gonna section this because it's too much to gel all at once. And the last reason that this happened is poor judgment on behalf of the government, and that's also pretty straightforward, and we can see that happening here in the United States, so I can definitely see it in other areas of the globe. You know, lawmakers just not making the best decision for the people, and that's really sad because that's why you're put in office, to look out for the betterment of the people. And water is most definitely a human right, and no one should feel like they can't access clean drinking water. Specifically in Cape Town, and as I said, I didn't do research on all of the global sites that are facing issues with water, but specifically in Cape Town, the biggest thing that they can do is put in super strict emergency water regulations. So something that I found was they actually have billboards that say, if it's yellow, let it mellow. So basically saying, you know, if you go to, you know, if you're going number 1, you know, you don't always have to flush it, basically. I know that there are reports of restaurants and bars shutting off, you know, bathroom sinks and faucets. So, and they also tell you know, travelers, people that are coming into the city, you know, people in hotel rooms, and obviously, you know, local residents, limit your shower to about 90 seconds, 2 minutes tops. Here's an image of a part of Cape Town where they're fortunate enough to have this spring that I think I read it delivers like something like 7 million, you know, liters of water per day, and residents are able to a resident MacGyvered this, you know, a bunch of PVC pipes together in order to make it so that people can get water. So because of this, obviously, you know, tensions are gonna get high. People are realizing that they may not have water very soon in the, in the very near future. So they actually have water police as well. And what I thought was interesting was that these, oh my gosh, I didn't separate it. Hold on. Can't, I mean, I probably could have done it. This is a smaller section, but whatever. The water police, they go to wealthy suburban neighborhoods, and they basically just make sure that rich people aren't taking really long showers, aren't overusing water, that type of thing, and then those people will get a fine. And they go to less affluent neighborhoods, and they do the same thing. But I mean, I think I read a report where the less fortunate people only spend, only use about 5% of the water for Cape Town, whereas the wealthy, affluent neighborhoods spend somewhere of 60% of the water. So what are you really regulating in that area? But that's an argument for, or discussion for, another time. All right, guys, and the last part of this video, always, what can we do? What can I do? How can I make the situation better? First is to monitor your water footprint. Realize that everything that you do is going to use water, and you should do whatever you can to limit how much water you are using. I make sure that when I'm washing my hair, I make sure that I actually don't wash my hair and my body at the same time, because I know how long it takes me to wash my hair. So if you watch my videos, you'll see me, dunk my head under, wash my hair, turn off the pipe, and then do what I need to do, and then go back under, to minimize how much water I use. Make sure that you shut off the water when you're brushing your teeth, washing your face, those type of things. Do your research, and make sure that when you do your research that you spread whatever you found to your network. Make sure that you're telling people about this issue, because one person can't fix this issue. Everybody has to be on the same page. You can donate to charities that focus on water. Some charities that I know of include Water is Life, the Clean Water Fund, Water First International, Drop in the Bucket. There's literally tons and tons of different charities that focus on this issue. And as always, I will link them down below. Another thing that you should do is never assume that your society, your community is too advanced, or in the American case, too honorable to have a water crisis. We saw with Flint, this is the 21st century. Flint, the situation started in 2014, I believe. Here there's 2018, and they still don't have clean water. Even though we live in a Western civilization, not everyone is as honorable and as good as we would like them to be. And the last thing that we can do is just make sure that we support Congress people, our congressmen or congresswomen that are against large corporations cutting down trees in foreign countries. Make sure that we're not supporting people that support businesses that further degrade the environment. Guys, here's my wash and go, and hopefully I was able to teach you a little something about the global water crisis that is currently taking place. Hopefully that you can donate to a charity, or you can get involved in some way, or hopefully you can just do a little research and change someone else's opinion about this topic. Alright, so until next time, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Stay blessed and unstressed.